Hey guys, this is Dan. Just wanted to touch base really quick on something today. Weapon modding. It seems to be sometimes, I don't know if you're like me, but sometimes it can be a little overwhelming. Just wanted to touch base with a few things. Honestly, it's really not that hard once you actually get it down and understand what resources are really important. We'll go over all of that. So I don't want to make a huge long video, but just something that you can watch and really understand quickly. So after we get past this long ass waiting screen, we will go ahead. I'll show you some of my guns, what I've done, and then how I accomplished that. Just keep in mind that these mods help increase things like damage and recoil and overall range. Range is kind of how long your bullet can go before it doesn't do as much damage as intended. So if you have 40, damage on a pistol with a range of 200. After that 200 range or in that area of 200 range, the damage is going to fall off. So you can't go sniping motherfuckers from across the map and do 40 damage to them all the time. So um, now that we're loaded, let me get out of here away from these loud ass turrets. Fucking turrets are so loud. Alright, so um, real quick, weapon modding. So in my weapons, I have the muzzle powerful 10mm pistol. I'm not gonna lie, I found this inside of a dead cow on the side of the street, so really good RNG. The next thing is the the powerful double barrel shotgun. So this starts as just a standard short double barrel shotgun. Nothing to really talk about. When you add mods to weapons, it will actually change the name of the weapon to reflect those mods. So I have a powerful receiver. That's this portion of the gun. The powerful receiver actually makes the gun heavier and does more damage. So really good mod to have. There's actually a bunch of different ones. I just want to give you an example. I have a long barrel, reduced weapon spread, short stock. You can't change that unless you have a higher gun nut perk. Standard sights. I plan on probably putting glow sights on it just so I can see at night a little bit better, and no muzzle. So that's what I have for my shotgun. The powerful sniper rifle is also pretty good. We'll go over that, and then someone was asking recently about my combat rifle. So the combat rifle is completely broken. This thing does a ton of damage, and it actually, for the range it has, it's really decent. So this is nothing but a hard receiver and a reflex dot. That's the only changes I have, and we are at 49 damage. That is ridiculous. One thing that's really nice on these, for what I've used and just sold to Trash Mara, is the hair trigger. Hair trigger makes this thing fully semi-automatic. Does a shitload of damage at one time for pretty decent accuracy. So I really recommend it. Reflex dot sight's really nice. Get your Call of Duty on. So let's get in here. So the Workbench. I think one really good example we'll just use is probably my pipe revolver pistol. The reason I'm going to use this as a example is just to show you what these things can actually do to the weapon. So I have tactical hardened revolver pistol. That's because I have a hardened receiver, long barrel, sharpshooter grip, glow reflex sight, no muzzle. The good thing about receivers is you have so many options. With receivers, and this goes for all weapons that have a receiver, so this isn't just exclusively for this pistol. It just comes with a standard receiver. It's nothing special. You can get a light frame, reduced damage, but it has lighter weight. This is really, really good on heavy weapons, like heavy weapons that you get later in the game. It's good for, actually, the assault rifle is really heavy. The minigun, I believe, has a different receiver that you can make it a little bit lighter. That is incredible. It's going to help you so much if you don't feel like wasting points in getting the extra carrying capacity. I live in my power suit when I quest and go to locations, so that shit don't apply to me. I just like my shit light. Um, Calibrated receiver, if you have a lot of luck in this game, your crit is increased, so this can be a good option for you if you like that. I like the hardened receiver. It's pretty light. It does a lot of damage. Actually, I think it does more than the heavy frame receivers, so it's really nice. These up here, powerful receiver, all these, it requires a really high gun nut perk. So while that's really good, it takes a lot to get there if you don't automatically just research into, I think it's intelligence. I did not. I thought I was picking the right perks and stuff, but you gotta live with it. You can switch it out. 308's obviously the most powerful, and actually the 308 is really nice, especially if you install the different stocks that are available. So With this, it'll actually, if you look at the top as I'm scrolling through these longer stocks, it actually changes the name of the gun to a rifle. Now, when this gets changed to a rifle, it will not any longer deal the extra damage you get from the pistol perk. 20% standard increased pistol damage, not automatic. So these stocks can absolutely change everything about this gun. I have the pistol and the long rifle though, so if I wanted to, I could change this into a rifle, still do the increased damage. But it's up to you. I really like the pistols, so that's what I'm going with. Um, the big thing about these is adhesive and just basic supplies. So screws, adhesive, those types of things. It takes a lot to make a stock. The reflex sights, just off of my experience, the regular reflex sight and the glow reflex sight, I think, are a little bit better on this gun. Um, I can give you a little bit of preview after that, but they seem to work pretty good. They're really friendly with the recoil and everything. Some of these are really nice, but I would recommend putting it on a pistol. You're not going to be long ranging people from across the map with a pistol, unless you're down with that. Um, the barrels are really important, not from even a damage standpoint, but from a range. Range is really important when you're trying to do damage while not like literally shoving the barrel in people's faces and shooting them in the head. Um, so I really recommend doing that. One thing I haven't got around to that I also recommend is changing around your muzzles. Muzzles play a huge part, and especially in guns like this. This gun has a shitload of recoil, so what you want to do is install a muzzle. That's going to reduce the recoil and even the recoil per shot, as you can see in the description. So you get less recoil, not every shot, but in general. So if you empty a 5 round clip without a muzzle, you're going to be looking up in the air. If you do it with a muzzle installed, then you're going to still be in the general area after the first shot. So if you shoot and you go up 20 degrees angle, you're only going to do maybe like 20-degree angle first shot, and then the consecutive shots will only be a little bit less per round. Whereas if you don't have a muzzle and you shoot the first shot, you're going up 20 degrees and then maybe 20 and then another 20, and it's not efficient. So um, as far as weapon mods go, that's good. One thing to keep in mind, resources that I found that are really really important are oil. Oil is extremely important. You can find it in like used gas cans, used oil cans, obviously oil cans that are still intact, not affected by the nuclear blasts. Those have a lot of oil. They also give you steel and stuff, and you can get it from lanterns. Lanterns you can't always pick up. They're kind of finicky. I found that if a lantern's laying on its side, you can actually pick it up and everything, but if it's stationary on top of a table and either lit or not lit, you cannot pick it up. It drives me fucking insane. If I was in this game real life scavenging for shit, I could absolutely pick that motherfucker up. But um, the 10 millimeter pistol, if we're talking about pistols, is probably my favorite pistol in the game. Um, Without the hairpin trigger, it's shooting really quick, and there's just so many mods for it. Honestly, I know I just said I picked this one up off the ground, but mods for it are really nice, and I've really enjoyed using it. Springs are also really important. You can get them from watches. So when you are pillaging a village or going from town to town looking for resources, or even if you're like me and like exploring the map and looking at many locations, not even for the quest, pick up everything. Everything is useful when you're crafting these weapons. Aluminum is a great resource. Pick up them lunch trays. Um, Pick up watches. Watches have really good materials. The globe, the toy car, and the toy truck all have screws in them. That is hugely important. I have a shortage of screws all the time, and until I become rich and powerful, I can't order shipments yet. So definitely keep that in mind. Another thing about weapon modding is it just makes your guns more powerful. I mean, if you look at the stats on like my combat rifle, that's one mod, one receiver. That's not even the best receiver for this weapon. There are much better receivers, and modding also, related to damage, modding can also unlock high caliber rounds. So this hunting rifle, this hardened sniper rifle, X hunting rifle, can get a 50 cal receiver on it. That is some stupid damage from a really long distance with a medium scope and everything put on it. Um, so that's all really good. But another thing is that damage isn't just based off of your mods. Another thing you want to keep in mind is the perk chart. Um, so Rifleman is really good, and I don't. There's not a perk to upgrade shotgun damage, But what I'm thinking is that shotguns are classified as rifles, so they kind of share this stat of non-automatic rifles do 20% more damage. Um, I think it's a really good stat. Another thing, if you're like me and like using pistols, then definitely get the gunslinger. Obviously, there's a perk for everything except for specifically shotguns, which I found really weird. But keep all that in mind. As far as resources go, I mentioned it in a previous video about building. A good thing for resources is just, it's going to sound terrible, but literally pick one of the, Sanctuary or even this place or one of the other places on the map that you can build on and start up a settlement and just literally level it. I leveled Sanctuary. I got unbelievable resources from doing that. Like tons and tons of resources from leveling Sanctuary. So it's one thing I definitely recommend doing. Another thing is setting up these little scavenging posts. So when you're building your settlement, you can set up these scavenger stations and assign someone to it. They will give you just random resources. It doesn't give you a notification or anything, but you can find that under resources and then going to miscellaneous. You set these up, you have to have someone assigned to it. I've got two. I'm going to assign 2 people to it, and then you get a ton of resources. That could be food, that could be pieces for your village, and actually, believe it or not, it will bring in cows, which is absolutely crazy to me that that station would bring in cows. So that's just a really quick thing about modding your weapons. And I think that's everything I want to cover. I guess I'll cover the suit real quick, just really short information about the suit. When you're doing paint jobs, make sure to paint the whole thing a certain paint job. You'll get bonuses from doing that. So right now I have the vault paint job on my power suit right now, my power armor. That gives me 2 charisma when I'm out doing stuff. So when I'm on that main storyline or if I get started with a quest and everything, I make sure to wear this thing just because that 2 charisma, when it comes to persuading or intimidating people in a chat bubble, it's gonna make a huge difference. It can change the entire game. So keep that in mind. Other things, other mods that you can install onto it. You can install different things, recon sensors, vape, every part. I think the arms and legs actually have like maybe 1 or 2 different mods to them, but the main things that have unique mods are the helmet and the body. So you can attach things like the jetpack, or for the helmet, obviously you can see a few here. Adhesive is very important in modding your armor and your gun. Adhesive and screws. Those are 2 vital resources when you're modding. You don't understand. Just collect, hoard duct tape, hoard wonder glue, anything like that. That's going to be some of the most valuable resources to modding. So I hope this helps you out when it comes to modding and everything. I know it took me a little while to figure it all out, maybe not use so much, but it's just good to have a reference video and be able to watch something that's not 50 minutes long about modding. So I hope you guys have a great one. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and have a great day.
Standing on the edge of the crater, like the prophets once said, and the ashes